Balls threatened. All stayed on the table, and a look at the one for Gorst.
Yeah, and I think it was this department, the last round of 16 for Josh, that really slowed him down. And I wouldn't say kept Fortunski in it, but gave him opportunities to stay in it, and he took advantage.
Feller's not one to be easily thrown, but Gorst is sending a little message here. You give me an opening, this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah, just like his opponent in this match, and you watch Fedor do something that's just almost always going to make sense. Really plays all games well, like Josh. But this is the game and the setting. He really wants to grab a title, and you know, as much as we all say it's going to happen, like Carl said, until it does happen, it's still a little bit of a question mark.
No question mark about the outcome of this opener, though. Joshua Filler broke dry. Sat down. Fedor Gorst leads 1-0 in this quarter-final. Still race to 10. The winner will play either Wojciech Szewczyk, Poland, or Anton Raga from the Philippines, who's...
Or if either two are involved in a game itself, it doesn't have to be against each other, but this has been a long one.
Filler's opening match against Jörg Gravotsky in total didn't take much longer than this.
I'll be interested to see how he plays this. Does he want to shoot it light from some distance away? It's very doable if you're comfortable with the light stroke. Could put a little speed into this and go into the 9 to hold the cue ball. Kind of feel like he's just going to roll the ball. Yeah, he tried to use the 9, and I'll tell you one big asset. All the great 9-ball players have it, but this is a guy that's absolutely one of the best, is banking these balls. Really has no fear when it comes to a bank shot. We saw it on the 6-ball a moment ago.
I often see him hanging around with Skylar Woodward at events these days. Maybe Skylar's passed on that particular skill and some tips to him. Well, it's been so hard fought. Filler twice attempted combinations to win this rack, but it looks as though it's slipping away from him. And after a truly absorbing battle, Fedor Gorst wins a lengthy second rack and leads Joshua Filler 2-0. Found it much harder than expected to see off Yuma Dorner 10-6. Had to finish strongly to win by the same score against Imran Majid. And then, as I was saying, a bit more comfortable against Lucius Yap earlier, 10-4.
Ball in hand.
What was the foul there, JJ? Did you spot it? Did he catch the 6 with his cue, maybe?
No, cue ball didn't get over the 3 and the 6, the balls he was snookered on, and really, you know, he's so good with the jump cue. Maybe it got the best of him there because the kick wasn't hard going to the top rail and a lot of good action as far as trying to get a return snooker. So.
So he's off and running. So are we in a contest which has been eagerly anticipated. Fedor Gorst just ahead at 2-1.
Shot called.
So that tells you how tough this one ball is. He's not even shooting at it. Now this is the second time he's pushed out in this situation, and he's gotten the cue ball off the rail. It was the other one was in a previous match against Mieszko Fortunski. If you leave the cue ball off the rail like this, you're never hardly getting this ball back. So. Looks like he's going to get the gap between, and a deserving gap after a heck of a shot on the one ball.
Yeah, absolutely. But how hard was that to do? Well, from there it looks there's a bit more of a gap, but still, it's something to find it.
Yeah, he just had to take his chances, and I'm a little, you know, it's a little suspect, the push out, I think. I didn't mind the challenge, but to offer him an angle and with the cue ball off the rail, I think Josh may regret that a bit.
It's a bit of a chance passed up.
Yeah, you're right about that, Michael. Anytime you let the player back, they feel great about it. Hoping to kick out of it.
Is he looking at the combo?
Yes, indeed. Couldn't get position on the side.
Yeah, it was from distance, but you always fancied him to get it. Joshua Filler loves to back himself. He was right 2 there. He's closed to 2 behind. Gorst leads 4-2.
What a great shot that was. And he must have had more of the one than I thought, but really to control the one and get by the pink like he did. Very important shot in this match, I believe.
We've been talking so much about Anton Raga and the impact he's made on this tournament, but Wojciech Szewczyk is an experienced campaigner in himself. He's leading their quarterfinal now at 5-4.
Yeah, and he had commented that it was tough to play his countrymen in the last. Didn't feel very settled. Looks very settled here in this quarterfinal. And I'll tell you what, he had a lot of heat on him early, and he's responded. Look at this jump shot he's taken on. This is just to play safe. Maybe he was trying to make it, actually. Looking to get around that left middle side pocket with the cue ball. This will show you where the equipment and the players have gone as far as the jump cue in the last 30 years. Look how close he is to these balls here, Michael, and he's going to attempt to get over this.
Successful attempt in terms of getting it over us and making the pot. It almost didn't. It almost seemed to land on top of the three, force it in that way. But where does he go from here?
Well, the reason he can get over this purple, but with the pink so far away, it's hard to be accurate. So he feels like either side of this, if he hits, he can get a safety. Because there's so many balls there, that's an unlucky scratch. There's a lot of good things that could have happened there.
Well, so much has happened already in this match, and neither of them is even halfway to the target yet. Golden break made it 4-1 to Fedor Gorst. The advantage has been completely wiped out now. It's 4-all. Congratulate Van Berkel. There was another Mika, of course. Well, he's still playing from the other end of Europe in some of the biggest titles in the game. We'll hear from Mika Van Berkel later on. He'll be getting his trophy. Joshua Filler has all the business to take care of first.
Well, I'll tell you what, the break's improving now. He's kind of forcing and willing his way into some shots after the break. Hitting him with a little more power. He's never been one that's been accused of, being too light with the break. It is a forceful break rule. Wants the cue ball to get off the rail here. This is going to be a little light. He may use the 9 to kind of help slow the cue ball down and get in some type of position. And this is where he can lean on a little length and not worry about trying to get close to the pink.
Well capable of it. And this is where he's in his comfort zone, filling his boots, rack after rack.
Yeah, got a little quick with the delivery there. You heard a little mutter from Josh. Fortunate this didn't get a little more missable.
Consecutive break and runs for Joshua Filler. He's now won 5 straight racks. And the finish line is just starting to appear. 6-4.
Yeah, Raga missed
extension, please.
A ball you may not see him miss the rest of his career. A little bit of a stretch on the 2 ball up 7-5. But Chevchek made a nice out from there and now back in the match.
The extension, please.
what a moment for Fedor Gorst. He had the golden break earlier on. I think he'll remember that one even more fondly. Gorst leaves the table looking perplexed.
Yeah. None of us saw that coming, including himself. The ball's deep in that corner pocket. Well, I think it's just his attitude and perspective, you know. He enters these types of events wanting to be in the big pressure moments. Of course, the skills don't hurt either.
Seen some great moments in this match. Wojciech Szewczyk. As you can probably gather, that has now gone 8-7 Raga. 9-7 rather. So it looks like he's going to atone to some degree the elementary error of the previous rack. He really needed to. Trying to win 5 in a row against Filler. Would have been asking a lot. So another fairly eventful rack. Being 7-4 down, Gorst now won 2 of the last 3. Still very much involved in this contest at 8-6 down. He's taken a pretty good effort there, even to get into this position. This rack far from over. A lot closer to being over now, though. Trying to cut that back in with that bit of pace into these tighter pockets. We see more of those miss now than we used to, that's for sure.
Yeah, the blind pocket. It's always one that you just don't get as good a feel.
All look to be slipping away from him. Gorst fell 7-4 behind. But it's no surprise at all to see him respond like this. Like the wonderful player and the great champion he is. He's been champion of the world in the past, looking for his first matchroom title. And he's still got every chance of delivering it here, because he's back to only 1 adrift. The finish of this gripping quarter-final.
one he can't take too much time. No extension left. Well, he'll take that, all things considered.
Fedor Gorst led 4-1 in this quarter-final after his golden break in the 5th rack. And lost the next 6. Nobody in their right mind would have even begun to write him off, even after that onslaught. Quite an achievement to turn it round again the way he has. But no surprise when you know the quality of the young man. For the first time since it was 4-all, this clash of world champions is all tied up. It's a race to 2 from here. I just have noticed a little smile coming across his face there. He's in control of things now. He's clearly favoured at this stage, albeit only by a small margin. Seems as though in a few minutes' time he's going to be breaking on the hill. Fedor Gorst was 7-4 down. He's lost only one more rack since then, and now he's back in front for the first time since 4-3. He's 1 away, making it to the last day of this European Open. The home win could be extinguished in a few minutes' time.
Not much left here, just one rail out, just past the center of the table, and really threaten getting any kind of missable ball on the 7. If you got to work the cue ball from the 7 to the 9, no problem.
Crowds have responded in Germany to this event since it began last year. They'd love to cheer a home winner. Joshua Filler is clearly the most likely player to deliver that. He was in such good form coming into this event last year, and Played so well right up until the moment when he went out in the quarterfinals. Quite tamely on that occasion. Different this time. And he isn't quite gone yet. If this goes in, it will be quarter-final defeat for Filler here in his homeland for the second year in a row.
Yeah, and he's got to be a little considerate of the cue ball. Maybe one rail in the corner, so may have to ease this a bit.
Fedor Gorst trails 8-5. And just when it looked as though he was going to make it 5 in a row to go through, a match of so much drama and incident has delivered a little more. And Joshua Filler will be breaking in a hill-hill finish. With carrying the burden of home support, particularly if they're the last player left from the host country, but I think Filler really embraces it. As you said, he loves the high-pressure situations. He's in one now.
Thank you, the final rack. Joshua Filler to break.
But he gets first go.
Tell you, these have opened nicely. There's some work, of course. This one ball, no hanger. He's got to work the cue ball a little bit. Too near the 3, though, and gonna work from the 3 to get back to the pink. So let's see after a dry break from Josh Filler.
This match started with Joshua Filler breaking dry and Fedor Gorst winning the rack from there. That was a chance for history to repeat itself right at the end of the contest. It was a tester for Gorst, though. As a result, the chance now goes straight to Filler.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, the same work, even though the 7 has gotten moved out of a little bit of a troublesome position. Talking about getting on the pink here in a shot or two. Now Josh, he'll just come across and take the distance on the pink. Just got to avoid the 8-9. Might come 3 rails with top inside between the 8 and the 6. I caught a little thick. It's going to be okay.
Been a big day for German pool. Ralf Eckert named as the new European Mosconi Cup captain. That happened right at the start of this Saturday in Fulda. Now as we approach 9 o'clock on Saturday evening, the standard bearer of the German game is 3 balls away from completing a victory we'll remember for many years to come. Not adverse to a shout, a yelp, a big celebration. We might see one. Fedor Gorst had a shot at the 9 in the previous rack. It was a testing one. By missing it, he left Joshua Filler back into the contest. And on a wonderful Saturday night here, Joshua Filler has given this packed house a moment to savour, a moment to remember.
That's no good. Left the pot here. I'd be very interested to find out what their head-to-head is like. Sure, they've played a lot. They've played a lot in practice.
They've even been in the same commentary booth together. He's had one remarkable result already, Carl. In the last 32, yesterday he beat Naoki Oi 10-1.
Well, they say winning breeds confidence, and as you were saying, travelled to Scotland for the Jacoby Open, managed to win that event. Incredible final rack from Alcaide in that tournament. He was playing Phil Burford. It was hill-hill. Missed a straight 8-ball and fluked it to win the title. Just watching the other table, SVB is down 4 racks to 1 to Mario. SVB is missing balls left, right and centre, but just as I said that, Mario, he has just missed a 6-ball.
Not a trick missed by David Alcaide in the first rack here, though.
Well, it was actually a lot thinner than it looked, so he had to go back up top of the table. 8 balls impeding his cue action a little bit here. They have to dig down on the cue ball. Just off straight as well. Yeah, there's not much angle to work with. Now the 9-ball's in the way.
Yeah, just like the 7 could have been missed. So could the 8, quite easily.
But he just keeps knocking them in. He's keeping Ruiz glued to the chair. It's a wonderful start.
I think there was a portion of David Alcaide who thought that might drop, but it was always overcut. what he's collectively achieved in the last couple of years, well, year and a half, I suppose. Simply extraordinary. But you know the old cliche, you're only as good as your last match. And the big man in the rankings has work to do. It starts here.
Sanchez Ruiz. Extension called.
David can chop this 2-ball in the right centre, send the cue ball into the 7, hopefully keep the cue ball around there for a shot on the red 3. But if the cue ball doesn't hit the brown 7
Extension called.
full in the face, it could start to wander to funny places. Yeah, good shot. Yeah, the issue is you just can't unsee it, can you? If someone dives across the arena, you see it, and then your brain has thought about it, so you naturally get back up. Well, things are going along nicely for the elder Spaniard, the man who has been pushed aside from Ruiz over the last
David Alcaide
year and a
wins
half.
the rack.
Absolutely. Yeah, the veteran, because that's what he is, David Alcaide, is performing very well indeed. His form was slipping, and you wondered, was he on that slippery slide? Time and time again, if this pot is missed, it will be because the red 3-ball has been thrust into the right-hand jaw as we're looking. That's the common miss. Well, he went cushion first.
Yeah, and he wasn't great with the shot clock there. He's under pressure. He's playing his best buddy on the circuit. A player he has probably looked up to for many, many years.
Yeah, a player and a person, Carl. Maybe the normal killer instinct has been blunted. It's not been for Alcaide, though, I can tell you that.
Well, just a couple of balls left. And he'll be halfway there.
I'd be astonished if he missed this. The way he's playing,
David
Alcaide is an old master restored.
Oh, how big is this miss going to be?
When you've got them down, you've got to keep them there. These top guys. When he reached the final of the UK Open last year, FSR lost his first match and was 6-0 down in his second. He pulled that one out of the fire and then almost lifted the trophy. He knows what it takes to fight back.
Boy, has he grinded today, Shane. Oh, missed 3 ball. Oh, the wheel's starting to fall off, Phil.
A charmed life there in many respects. It's 2 on the bounce for Francisco Sanchez Ruiz.
Bar stroke.
Well, ball in hand, couldn't have come at a better time. The previous 2 racks, David's
Ball in
got
hand.
lost a little bit out there.
Please restart the clock.
Get a bit twitchy on this though, it could still go astray. Never in doubt.
Extension called.
Taking his extension on the 9-ball. And if Francisco Sanchez Ruiz is going to extend this match, he will have to pull off quite a fight back.
Missed the ball on the way in. Hit the rail first. Just feel like Sanchez Ruiz is still in this match, don't you? I know David's got a big lead, but you can almost sense there's a twist. He's only going to be 4 racks behind.
Yeah, game on, no doubt. 8-4.
Well, he's took a lot of time. He's used his extension. And all that. And look at the shot he's played, Phil.
Double kiss, double trouble. And that's something you can ill afford when you're 8-4 adrift.
What have I just played there? That's what he's thinking, sat in the chair. Now, Davey can pop the ball
Extension called.
into this very pocket. Yeah, you can't stun this ball in because the stun shot would send the cue ball towards the pink. He's kind of going to roll this through. It's a little touchy type of shot, this. Just wants to miss the pink 4. I think he's missed this. Yep, he has.
A couple of times now playing slow rolls to that pocket. He's overcut the ball. It's a common misconception among people who don't play that rolling the balls is the easiest thing to do. Far from it.
And there was a little gap where he could pot the ball. He can pot the 6. Should be going nowhere near the 9. Oh, he's kicked it in. He's kicked it in. Still not over yet, though. He's having a smile about that one. Will he play the pot or will he roll the cue ball in behind the 9? It's the cue ball. 7 needs to hit a rail. It's not going to go. It's not going to go. Is it going to go?
Fast stroke.
Wow.
Ball in hand.
Simply
shot clock.
extraordinary. What pressure does, it fries the mind.
You can see it building up from the com box, can't you? It's weird. You can see on certain shots that they play, if the ball doesn't go in clean, where they start running out of line. I mean, I know he's the man still winning the match, but I'm finding it hard to believe he's going to win the match.
Eight, 6. The gap closes
Sanchez Ruiz
even
wins the
more,
rack.
and that was a result of a brain freeze. You see, you have to hit a cushion. Didn't want the 2 in, but then again, he didn't want it over the pocket. Oh dear. Knocks in a very high percentage of banks, doesn't he? Francisco Sanchez Ruiz.
Yeah, this is as easy as they come, really. Still got to make them, but you always expect these top players to pot them. awful tight, that, wasn't it, from that angle? He must have only just been able to see the potting angle. 7-1 down he was in this match.
You know, Carl, at tournaments, you always get a theme, don't you? At the World Masters, it was golden breaks. We had so many of them, 15 in total. At this event, it's been players getting into a position of overwhelming superiority and then struggling. It's happened time and time again. Right from the get-go on Tuesday.
Yeah, nicely done there. That's give him this nice angle. Play the cue ball off 2 rails, come in towards the 9. And he's about to pull this match to just 1 behind. He trailed by 6 racks at one point.
The world number 1 is only 1 rack behind now.
What a shot that is.
A little unlucky to bring, unintentionally of course, the 7 very close to the 6. It's not entirely welded onto the green. Potting options do exist, but they are somewhat limited.
Extension called. Extension called.
And look at the 5 in relation to the 8. Anything but simple this.
Another good shot. Got a lot of work to do here, hasn't he?
Or maybe not. What a wonderful kiss shot. He loves that, doesn't he? On to the 9. And it's all square. You do not deserve to leave a snooker there, FSR. That was technically awful. Nerves consumed the world champion and world number 1.
Yeah, I promise you, we're not lying. He is the world number 1 on the Nineball World Tour. But what I will say is, years ago, a good few years ago, Sanchez Ruiz was prone to throwing a few misses in as he fluked the 8. He hasn't, but he wants this to be straight. There's not much of an angle there, so there's still a little bit of hope. Oh, I tell you what, this match has been enthralling. We've seen everything, Phil. We have seen everything.
The last time he tried to pot the 8, he snatched violently. How about this one? Can he keep his nerve intact? Better.
Yeah, not much better. A better result because it went in, but it went in very thick.
Yeah, he moved, but not as much as the previous one, which was a horror show.
Yeah, something tells me this isn't going to go in clean as well if it does go in.
Paul, you were correct. But it just about found its way into the target. And for the first time in the match, Francisco Sanchez Ruiz moves in front. How about in? Trouble is, the cue ball's behind the 8 ball, literally.
Wow, he hit that ball with exactly 1 second left. Surely not another hill. Yeah, that's better. It's a better, confident stroke.
The day started coming up to 12 hours ago. In that time, we've had some wonderful entertainment. Every seat in the house was sold, and many are staying for this. And that loyalty has been rewarded with a hill finish.
In Nineball, it's different to other sports. There's the hug. Alcaide to break. It's hill.
David Alcaide to break. Hill. 9 racks up.
Of course it was going to be a dry break. What a delicate, lovely shot he's played here.
Going to the cue ball too much there. It brought in the possibility of a scratch. Now the pendulum has swung back very much in favour of Alcaide.
Foul stroke.
Well, can you believe what he's done here in the final rack of a major quarter-final? He's rolled the 9-ball over the pocket for the easiest of combos.
Nine, all is fine, eventually. David Alcaide doesn't celebrate. He empathises with his good pal, Francisco Sanchez Ruiz. That was terrific stuff. The quality at times, maybe not. But how can you fault the drama? It all came down to an extraordinary set of circumstances, and the world #1 and world 9-ball champion is out because of that combination. And a combination of not playing his best and being up against an opponent who, as always, is stubborn.